first, a few words about the source of data. So this comes from our research. It's based on conversations with some of the world's leading loyalty and retail experts, people building programs for brands such as MediaMarkt, Adidas, IKEA, Douglas, Boss, PepsiCo, and many others. So when you put all that together, when you combine these, CLV, churn, frequency, ROI pressure, you kind of end up with a very clear mandate. Loyalty must be measurable, predictable, and must be directly tied to revenue. When we ask retailers how they plan to respond to these goals that you saw on the previous one, three investment directions stood out very clearly. The first, and certainly the most consistently growing, is gamification. Retailers are no longer satisfied with the traditional earn points, redeem rewards. It's too linear, and customers just stop paying attention really quickly.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Today's video is all about gamified loyalty in retail. And we have a great guest with us today, Kacper Cebo, co-founder and chief sales officer at Open Loyalty. Hi Kacper, great to have you on Loyalty Builders.
Hi Reg, thanks for joining.
Awesome. So you gave this presentation last week at an event for retail leaders in Warsaw, and I've heard that it sparked a lot of interest.
Yeah, indeed. It was a great event, maximizing mobile masterclass. It was held by Apadme and Droids and Roids in Warsaw. A great gathering of people from the industry. There were some nice guests, interesting discussions before and after. There were a few panelists. I had one of those, and there was also a little bit of a discussion between all the panelists down the road. Cool questions from the audience. So altogether, it's always good when people from the industry meet and have a chance to grab a drink and speak informally.
Yeah, sure, obviously. So I wanted to ask you about this feedback coming from the audience. So maybe there was something, I don't know, surprising that came from the audience after your presentation?
Well, I think the questions were really great because some of them were very interesting. I mean, for example, at some point we started discussing when too much gamification kicks in, what happens then? How much gamification is too much, basically? And obviously, there's no silver bullet. It very much depends on the context and also the frequency and the type of company and the way that they run the program. So there was quite a lot of interesting insights from people coming from different angles, from fashion to electronics, to kind of share experiences and say how it looks for them.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, but that's a great question, definitely. So, it definitely relies on the business model, on the context, on the program, and, on the particular audience that you are designing for. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone in the audience right now, guys, if you have any sort of questions to Kacper during the presentation, feel free to use the chat and, type them in. I'm going to make sure that all the questions are answered, and we really appreciate your feedback, because that's the thing with gamification, that it might look different based on particular context. So we are really curious on your context in this case. Let us know. So we're here for you. Okay, so basically, I think that we can start, because I know that you have a cool presentation prepared today for us, so it's going to appear in a window in a moment. And yeah, if you could let us know actually how retailers use gamified loyalty to outperform competitors.
Yeah. Let's roll. Thanks, Eric. So, hey everyone, once again. Today I want to take you to give you a glimpse into the world of gamified loyalty programs and explore how top retailers use them to outperform competitors. I think it's important to mention that everything I'll be talking about comes from interviews with more than 300 retail brands worldwide. So this is not just theory. These are insights grounded in what global retailers are actually doing and actually investing in right now. So, over the next few minutes, I'll walk you through what these top retailers are investing in today, what problems they are looking to solve, why gamified loyalty is becoming an important priority, a strategic priority for them. A few real examples of gamified tactics used by these global brands. And then finally, two takeaways, actionable next steps that you can hopefully start using immediately. So, yeah, let's dive in. First, a few words about the source of data. So, this comes from our research. It's based on conversations with some of the world's leading loyalty and retail experts, people building programs for brands such as MediaMarkt, Adidas, IKEA, Douglas, Boss, PepsiCo, and many, many others. These are all mature organizations with large customer bases, measurable KPIs, and obviously high pressure on ROI. And they all face pretty similar challenges to an extent, of course, which makes the patterns that we observed extremely valuable. And the second source of insights is our own enterprise portfolio at Open Loyalty. We operate programs in 45 markets worldwide and across more than 400 active programs, almost 10,000 loyalty campaigns running every year. We are privileged to be at the forefront. We are privileged to see firsthand what works, what doesn't work, and which of these tactics consistently outperform others. Um, so the first question when we asked retailers about their primary loyalty goals, there were three themes that appeared almost universally, uh, regardless of geography or category or program maturity, really. What's interesting is also that what we observe is that retailers have become much more disciplined in how they set loyalty objectives. So, gone are the days when loyalty was purely a marketing initiative with some loose KPIs. Today, I guess more than ever, commercial teams, finance teams, and even CFOs sometimes are getting involved directly, and that changes the conversation completely. So the first and the most dominant goal that we saw is customer lifetime value, improving CLV. Every brand, from grocery to fashion to electronics, is seems to be treating CLV as a strategic metric, a lens through which they evaluate not only just loyalty programs but the entire customer experience. And it seems that they want loyalty not only to not just to increase purchases but to actually extend relationships over years, not months. The second strong theme is reducing churn and increasing purchase frequency hand in hand. Acquisition costs have skyrocketed, especially in retail verticals with heavy paid media dependence. And therefore, multi-purchase customers, especially these that can make to the third, the fourth, and the fifth purchase, they have become the core growth engine for these brands. And loyalty's job is to turn one-time buyers into repeat purchasers, and then these repeat purchasers into habitual customers. That's the essence. And then number three, we have ROI pressure. And the retail leaders told us that loyalty programs are now being treated as an investment, not an expense, right? So they, as any other investment, they need predictable financial outputs. They need to understand the incremental value of a member versus a non-member, and they require transparency. They essentially keep asking the question, for every euro we invest in loyalty right now, how many euros do we get back in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years? And that's why so many retailers are in the process of re-examining their loyalty strategy these days, because the old transactional model just isn't delivering the ROI clarity that they need. So when you put all that together, when you combine these CLV, churn, frequency, ROI pressure, you kind of end up with a very clear mandate. Loyalty must be measurable, predictable, and must be directly tied to revenue. Um, when we ask retailers how they plan to respond to these goals that you saw in the previous one, three investment directions stood out very clearly. The first, and certainly the most consistently growing, is gamification. Retailers are no longer satisfied with the traditional earn points, redeem rewards. Uh, it's too linear, and customers just stop paying attention really quickly. And what gamification does is it introduces mechanics like missions, challenges, tiers, achievements, badges, streaks, all of these things that kind of naturally create repeat interaction. They increase the surface area of possible interactions. And what's powerful is that these mechanics work even when no discount is offered. They create dopamine loops, habit loops, and a sense of actual progression that customers enjoy. The second major investment area is what we call experience-based loyalty. As I was saying, the transactional loyalty, it's reaching its limits. So if your entire loyalty proposition is just spend more, earn more, what you're doing is you're basically training your customers to wait for discounts. And experience based loyalty introduces emotional value. Things like early access, exclusive content, communities, brand experiences, VIP events, personal recognition, all of that creates loyalty that survives even when competitors run promotions because you're building identity, not just discounts. And the third area is automation and predictive segmentation. Retailers want loyalty programs that adapt in real time. So adjusting offers, challenges, communication based on customers' behavior and predicted intent. All of these things is what they're after right now. And instead of sending the same newsletter to a million people, what they want is micro segments that react to individual purchase patterns, to churn risk indicators, to personalized category interest. The goal here is quite simple, it's relevance at scale. So when retailers talk about the future of loyalty, the direction is clear. They want more engagement, they want more intelligence, obviously the artificial one as well, and they want more emotional connection, not just more points. And because gamification scored first on this list, we wanted to understand why, and we run a deeper study focused specifically on this area. And if there was one thing we heard from almost all of the people we talked to, it was this: marketing and loyalty promotions in retail have become predictable and the wrong kind of predictable. Promotions like 10% off, two for the price of one, extra points this weekend. Customers are just used to them right now. They expect them. So these things no longer influence customer behavior as they used to, simply because they have become obsolete. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying ditch the promotions entirely. For anybody with any experience in retail, especially in its most competitive verticals, you all know that this is not an option. What I'm saying, though, is that these things alone work only for short term sales spikes, but they do not build the long term loyalty that we are all after. Mm, Gamified loyalty, on the other end, solves that problem by shifting customers' focus from what discount can I get today to how can I progress, unlock, achieve, and eventually earn more over time. So now let's go through some examples, real life examples of gamified loyalty tactics and how they are being used in the programs out there. Number one, challenges, quests, missions, different names, but pretty much the same idea. get the customer to interact with your brand over an extended period of time toward a specific goal. And you can design these things based on spend level, visit frequency, category focus, and also combine them with precise micro segments. Incentives for completing them can be anything from points to coupons to exclusive offers to VIP access or physical rewards. Uh, and what's great is that brands that keep using challenges see consistent lifts in frequency because customers stay engaged for days or weeks. So it's a really great tactic to increase that engagement from day one and make the whole experience a bit more fun for the members. Number two, lucky draws, lotteries, scratch and win, spin the wheel. Again, different names for these types of experiences, but all of them extremely powerful. And what best retailers do is they place them just right before the key shopping moments happen. So if Friday is the main purchase day, they would launch Spin the Wheel every Thursday evening. And what it does is it builds anticipation, it reminds customers about the brand, and it also keeps them coming back even if they don't win. And financially, the rewards budgets on these things can be easily capped, so CFOs are a fan. Another one, dynamic tiers. They are consistently placed as one of the strongest long-term loyalty drivers. Uh, Customers can unlock new benefits by combining the tier ladder from lower to higher. Tiers are not a new concept in loyalty. But what makes dynamic tiers different than regular tiering mechanism is that to progress, they require regular engagement. They require monthly purchases, referrals, reviews, app activity, and more. And such a small change alone can dramatically boost frequency because customers don't want to lose their tier. They don't want to miss the next reward level. And if you design the required activities in a smart way, they also don't feel like an obligation, but as a natural part of the brand experience. And finally, non-transactional behavior. This has been a thing for a while now, rewarding non-transactional actions. So some of these things that we already talked about, downloading the mobile app, logging in regularly, product reviews, participating in quizzes, making referrals, completing challenges, earning badges, all of these things, they fight churn by creating habit loops. So we have small actions that lead to small rewards, recognition, and that leads to repeated engagement. And once customers accumulate enough momentum and they build the habit, they invest in it, they are way less likely to defer to competitors. So these are obviously only some examples of these gamified tactics. I guess some of you might be now thinking about, okay, what benefit does it bring? What are the results? What these companies get out of introducing these gamification mechanics? And here are, to me personally, pretty astonishing numbers because across the retailers that we studied, gamified loyalty programs deliver on average as much as up to 18% uplift in customer lifetime value, up to 37% of increase in purchase frequency, and up to 25% reduction in churn. And all that compared to customer segments that were exposed to more traditional loyalty mechanics that didn't include the tactics that I mentioned before. So I really cannot stress this enough. Gamification doesn't replace loyalty programs, but it makes them significantly more effective. Mm, okay, so leaning towards the end, let me leave you with two next steps. First, I strongly encourage all of you who are interested to read the full version of our loyalty program trends report. It includes all the research. It includes detailed benchmarks, tactical recommendations. If you'd like, look up the link in the description and get it for free. And number two, in December, we're running a special workshop called Gamified Loyalty Tactics Assessment. It's a short practical session, actually a series of sessions where we help brands identify which gamified loyalty tactics can best improve their CLV, their frequency, and their retention. And we still have a couple of free spots left. More information can be found on our website, and if your company qualifies, your participation is free. So thank you so much, I guess, for your time. I hope you're leaving with at least one idea that you can consider with your team. And let me just close with another short remark. I feel that gamified loyalty is no longer a gimmick, and now we have data to justify this impression. Gamified loyalty is becoming a strategic engine, a measurable and a scalable way to consistently outperform competitors. So thanks.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Kacper, for providing this, on the one hand, like a big picture view of the industry and like showing the customer loyalty in retail, but also sharing a few of the tactics, the gamified tactics that might be used in this particular business model. Now, to all of the members of our audience, if you have any questions to Kacper, feel free to ask them right now using the chat, or obviously you can always like reach out to us through the website or on LinkedIn. There are multiple ways in order to reach us. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of retail, because basically this is the industry that is very mature. So customer loyalty has been present in retail for a while now. But I absolutely agree with you, Kacper, on it, that if you use gamification, suddenly you are smarter about discounts. You also not only forecast the revenue, but you actually can design for a certain revenue that you would like to improve or expect. So this is actually pretty amazing what can be done if you have a proper design and mechanics in place. So yeah, to all of you who would like to either build a loyalty program or improve the current one, we are waiting for you, and we would love you to be a part of the assessment workshop that Kacper has just mentioned. Cool. So I believe that we can easily wrap it up right now. I like this video because it is so short, but on the other hand, it's packed with value. So I will basically end it right now. Just, let the knowledge sink in a bit, and see you soon at the next Loyalty Builders video. Bye, everyone.
Bye.